Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome to So You Think You're Iconic, the movie podcast where we thank the Lord for YouTube because I could not find this movie anywhere.
Really?
Could not find it anywhere. I checked on Amazon to like rent it or something, couldn't find it there.
Uh-huh.
Checked Voodoo, couldn't find it there. So yeah, YouTube really came in clutch because first of all,
Wow.
I didn't have to pay for it. Secondly, I found it.
Yeah, true.
So yay.
And it's so funny because this movie is usually on Netflix. It's been on Netflix for like years.
I could find the second one, but I could not find this one.
There's a second one.
Yeah, I was shocked too, but yeah,
What the
there's a
heck?
second one.
Okay.
First off, I want to say happy Thanksgiving because when this comes out, tomorrow is Thanksgiving. And if
Happy
you
Thanksgiving.
don't live in the US, just have a good week.
Right. Have a happy Wednesday
Have a happy Wednesday.
or whenever you're listening.
The rest of us, the food is coming. The
Right.
food is coming.
Right. You're not eating breakfast.
Yeah.
You're just cooking and then you're eating dinner.
Yeah.
That's
La-
it.
Last year it took so long. I like drove to Jack in the Box and got my got everyone like sandwiches. I was like, I'm starving.
Really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I think I eat like when I'm cooking, I think I leave like bits and pieces of things that are finished and like have like a really tiny plate so that I'm filled with some kind of sustenance.
Oh, you cook.
Oh yeah.
I'm in charge of desserts. So I cook the day before. I
Oh yeah, you missed that rush then.
day of I am not in the kitchen.
Oh yeah, me and my mom, oh my gosh, we get up early. Sometimes we prep the veggies the night before and like we'll
Mhm.
cut meat up and stuff like that. Make sure everything's like ready. So like the only thing we're really doing the next day is like throwing it in a pot or whatever, turning the oven on.
Yeah, I just show up at my aunt's house ready to eat. I get there. I usually now that I have a car, I leave before my mom because my mom takes forever. So yeah, I'll just drive there around like 1, 2 o'clock ish.
Mm,
Bring over anything my mom has pre-made.
mhm,
Like she'll usually like pre-make like dressing, and
mm.
if she's making mac and cheese that year, she'll pre-make the mac and cheese. I'll
Oh,
bring it over.
gorgeous.
But yeah. Oh, speaking of late family, I need to tell everyone what happened last night.
Oh, yes. Go
So,
ahead. Have your
so
little spotlight moment.
we were going to a birthday dinner and we were told to be there at 6
Mm,
for the reservation at 6.
mm.
So it was at the Berkeley Marina, and there was a lot of traffic, like street traffic. I don't know what was happening. There was. And so me and my mom were like 2 or 3 minutes late, which like I'm sure at a
Which
restaurant they
for
were like,
you,
that's
which for you is
bad
like
for me.
30 minutes late.
Yeah, I hate being late, but like we were there.
Yeah, you made it.
And I was like, I saw that traffic and I was like, we're not gonna make this fucking reservation. Not like us, but like in
Yeah,
general. Like
in
I saw
general.
that, I was like, they're already gonna be late. Like I know it. And then this traffic on top of that is not gonna help. And so we get there and only the person whose birthday it was there. Her and her husband were there, and then one of my cousins was there, and that was it. There was supposed to be like 20 something people.
That was the first sign of
That was the first time. And then we were looking and it was like 6:20 and I was like, still no one is here.
mhm.
I was like, they gonna cancel this fucking reservation. And then and then my mom was talking to her and she was like, yeah, I told everybody to be here at 6 o'clock. And I was like, wait, you told them to be here at 6 o'clock? Like in the back of my mind, I was like, these are black people. Why are you telling
Yeah.
them to be here at the time it's supposed to start?
Yeah, you're
I was
supposed to say
like,
5:30 or 5, bro.
you should have told them 5. Why the fuck would you tell them
Right.
6?
Right.
And then yeah, we didn't get seated till like 7 because
Yeah.
people didn't start really coming until like 6:45. Everyone
Ugh.
wasn't there until 7:30.
Ugh. I am so surprised when you're telling me this that
I
Nobody
was
canceled on you.
I was livid. I was so I started drinking. I was like, Mom, go get me a
You
Jack.
needed it.
First off, when we like sat down, my mom went to the bar and I was like, give me a Jack and Coke. I was like, get me a Jack and Coke. And then that was not enough for me. So I got up and I went to the bar myself. I was like, can I have a margarita? They didn't card me, which like, good for me.
Uh.
And so they gave me my margarita, and then I came and I sat down, and my mom was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I was like, "I got a margarita." She was like, "Why are you mixing colors?" And I was like, "I'll be fine." I know you're,
uh,
I know you're not supposed to mix brown and light liquor. I was like, "I'll be fine." Girl,
no.
I was not okay. Like I only had two drinks and I was like tipsy.
Messed up.
I was like, oh, I made a mistake.
You're like, uh-oh. Now I know why. Do not mix colors.
The food was good. I scarfed down my
Good.
food because like when I drink, I am like an endless pit. Like my mom didn't finish her food and I like went over was like eating her food too. Like I am an endless pit when I drink.
Dang, okay.
But the moral of the story is I will
Yes.
never do this again with that side of the family ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah, moral of the story, I will never do that again.
Don't. Yeah. It's not
No,
good for your mental health.
it's not. Literally, I was so upset. And it wasn't even my party.
Right.
I was just hungry. I was upset. I wanted to go home.
Yeah. The whole time he was texting me, I'm like, bro, I just leave. And then you told me your mom was with you. I'm like, oh no.
Like a dinner that was supposed to start at 6 o'clock did not end until 9:30. I was tired.
Yeah.
Literally,
I would not be happy at all.
and then when it was time to leave, everybody was like taking forever to like leave. I was like,
Of course.
I want to go home. Like I'm tipsy. I need to pee. I Yeah, it was not a good time for me. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I got through it.
Yes, you did.
I got through it. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
How was your week? How was your time?
Better than yours.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This statement might make you angry, but my house is currently being decorated for Christmas.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
I don't know if you can see it, but there's this right here, little
No,
tiny thing right here. You
can't see
can't see
it.
that?
No.
Well, I decided to decorate my room this year. So I have tinsel all over my bed frame and more Christmas lights. I have Christmas lights like surrounding my room. You can't see them. And neither can you listening.
It is
But
November 14th.
yes. And this morning, before we started recording it all, while I was eating breakfast, I was watching The Holiday because it came on when we were in Hawaii, but I watched like 20 minutes of it before we had to go to wherever we were going. And I was just like, it's been stuck in my brain that I need to watch The Holiday. And so I watched The Holiday. I didn't finish it. So now when we're done, I have to go and finish it. But yeah.
You can't. You have to go watch Eternals.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. I'm gonna
Yeah.
watch Eternals and then I'll come back and finish The Holiday.
I mean, you won't because Eternals is a long ass movie.
It really is.
It's so long. I
I
went
know
to go
my brother needed a pee break in the middle of it. I'm like, it's that long? What the?
I went to go watch it with my mom and my sister. The movie was supposed to start at 11:30. We didn't get out of there until like 2:30.
What the heck?
Yeah. It's
See, I can't do those like 2 hour movies anymore.
it's long. Like you better
Like
go.
if I have to watch a long movie, I want to do it at home, bro. But I
Yeah,
gotta support
you
Eternals.
have to support Eternals.
Yeah. But anyway, I am in a Christmas mood, even though it's November 14th.
She's crazy.
Yes, I am sorry.
Ooh, speaking of Christmas, I meant to ask you this.
Yes.
Do you want to go Black Friday shopping? Because like this time last year, I had pretty much started My Christmas shopping, I have not started. Do you want to go? Do you want to go Black Friday shopping? I need.
And see, I started. I started before you this year.
Yeah, I did not start. I was like, I'll just wait until after Thanksgiving to start, which is probably dumb, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
But
I'm not really in the mood to start
I've
Christmas
never been
shopping
like
yet.
I've never been like real Black Friday shopping.
Well, it's fun. You just
Is
go,
it?
you wait in a million lines, but like everything's
Uh,
cheap, so like it's fine.
true. True.
Yeah, we should go Black.
Maybe we should go and experience it.
We should.
Drag as many people as we can to Black Friday shopping.
We should go to one of the outlet malls. That way everything is there. We don't have
Oh,
to
you're
like
right.
drive around.
You're right. You're right. Livermore?
I love that one. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's
Everyone
go.
meet us there.
Yes. We're going to the outlets. We're doing Black Friday shopping.
Yeah.
Good time.
I'm very I'm still a little disappointed with you. Too early.
Why?
Too early.
Yeah,
Too
I know.
early. Too
I
early.
know. But we're not having Thanksgiving at our house this year. So we don't technically have to decorate for Thanksgiving.
You decorate for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, my mom likes to decorate. So we have a few things for Thanksgiving.
What are Thanksgiving
Or
decorations?
we have like a fall stuff. We have fall
okay.
stuff.
Okay.
She doesn't have like turkeys or anything, but it's fall colors and whatever. But there is tinsel and cute little Christmas lights on my bed. There's a Christmas tree downstairs already.
Jeez.
We have all of the kitchen a snowman up. My mom wants to put the bathroom Christmas stuff up.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, the only thing I've done Christmas so far is watch an episode of Family Guy that was a Christmas episode, and then try to think about where to put my Christmas tree this year. That's it.
Do you move it every year?
We're moving it this year because where it usually goes, there is now a dog cage there. So yeah, I need to like reconfigure where it's gonna go.
Okay. All right, that's fair.
But you know what I'm really ready for, Kelley?
What are you ready? See what happens when we don't record?
Yeah.
I cannot speak. Neither of us can speak.
No.
But are you ready to go over this week's movie?
Yes, I am.
All right, everybody strap in because this week we are going over Hoodwinked. Yay! Cue the happy commercial track of people saying yay.
Yeah.
That's really funny. Okay, so we start this movie off with some narration that tells us that the story of Red Riding Hood isn't what it seems, and that you can't judge a story until you know exactly what happened. And we get like this like Shrek-esque like book with Red Riding Hood on it, and then we enter into the book to start the story. We enter the book and see Red. Her name is Red during the movie, even when she does not wear her red cloak, by the way. Entering her grandma's home. Her grandma is there, but Red can clearly see that it's not her actual grandma. Red points out how
she
grandma...
keep playing into it, though. Like, she obviously knows it's not her grandmother, but she's like, what big ears you have.
Right.
What big hands you have. What bad breath you have. And I'm like, girl, why are you playing this game?
She's like, your mouth doesn't move when you speak. Like, girl, you don't have to do that for him.
You don't.
You really don't. Red points out how grandma is looking and acting weird when the big bad wolf points out that it's actually him. Red goes to defend herself with her karate skills as Wolf tries to get her basket. Red asks where her grandma is, and Wolf tells her that he took care of her when she actually pops out of the closet, like tied up. And then a random woodsman bashes through the house and everyone starts screaming.
if a man with an axe came into my window screaming, I would scream so loud that the sound would pierce through space and make its own supernova. Like the amount of fear that would come out of my body, I would be like Jean Grey when she like sucked in like that energy force in that X-Men movie. Like I would be off of this planet.
Yeah. And I mean, that's totally fair. Like, when would you ever expect a man with an axe to be in your home?
To not only be in your home, but to jump through the
But
window of your
yes,
home,
and
swinging an axe.
scream, and yeah, and swinging an axe.
No, like my body would disintegrate into dust. Like I would just go poof and just be gone.
Just gonna blip out of
Yeah, I'll
existence.
blip.
So later that night, the police and press surround Grandma's house. The press ask Chief Grizzly, who arrives on the scene, questions about what happened and if it's connected to the Goody Bandit. The chief gets the info on what happened when he leaves the press, and when he enters the house, thinks that the case is open and shut, and goes to send the wolf to jail. When Nick Flippers shows up, the chief
Yeah.
says he is. What?
I have some thoughts. So
Okay.
Flippers shows up and he has a pet dog, but they're in a
Yes.
world where there are sentient animals.
Uh-huh.
So how does he have a pet?
And I mean, the dog does type on a typewriter
That
later.
yeah, I was just about to bring that up.
He sits in a chair
And types
like
at
a
the
human.
typewriter. So he is intelligent enough to take notes during the interrogation, but also has to be walked around with a leash. Is he a slave? Do they have slaves in this world? I think they have slaves.
You think so?
I think the dog is a slave.
Because I was gonna go in a very different direction.
Ew.
I love how you instantly knew.
Ew.
I mean,
I'm sorry. There's some. I know in one episode we said that we don't kink shame. Some kinks need to be shamed. I'm so sorry. Don't do
we're
that.
not saying,
Don't. We're not saying don't do it, but don't do that shit in
yeah,
public. Like,
don't do
nah,
it in public
don't do
because that
that.
just makes everyone uncomfortable.
I did not consent to be a part of this.
Right. It's fine within consenting adults. I did not
Yes,
consent.
I do not consent. Absolutely not.
Mm-mm. It's not great. But maybe it's also like a goofy situation. Not a goofy. Yeah, goofy? No, Pluto.
A Pluto situation that also freaks me out
Yeah.
because Pluto seems to be very intelligent. He just can't speak. Is he like
Right.
Is he like mentally disabled and they just treat him like a pet?
I think that's what how they explain that. I think if you like there's a few theories that I've heard where he's um has something mentally going on that he is not either fully developed as everybody else or something, and that's why he is how he is. I I don't know if it's
Oh,
true.
Pluto's just a little slow. It's so
I
so they treat him like a pet.
know. Okay. So the chief says he has everything under control, but Nick steps in anyways. And Nick says that he wants to start interviewing the four people and he wants to start with Red. So Red is brought in and she starts by saying that Red goes in and she says that she started her day by making deliveries. Great Big World
Bop
starts to
number one.
play. Bop number one.
Bop counter is back.
Yes, it is. And we see Red biking around the wood.
Here's a story
And we
I know you'll like. It's the one about the God on her face. Oh. Great song.
Great. We briefly see the woodsman in her story. We then see a rabbit named Boingo jump into her basket and say he lost his job with the Muffin Man because of the Goody Bandit. But it's okay because he still has his cable car job. Red gives him a treat to feel better and he leaves. As Red rides around, we see a lot of other businesses closing because their recipes were stolen.
Yeah, because they only have one copy of their recipes.
Yeah, just one.
That's so fucking dumb. And then how do you notice that other people are getting the recipes stolen and then still only keep one copy
Right.
of your recipes?
Right. Nobody like ups security or takes copies.
No.
No. They're like, we're fine. It's okay. Red then calls Grandma to talk about the recipe book and trying to protect it, but Grandma isn't concerned and hangs up on her. Later, we see Red talk to a bird about how she wants to get out of town when they hear a crash. Red goes to investigate and finds a rock with "You're next" written on it, thrown through their bakery door window. And Red decides to protect the book herself by taking it out of the safe and to her grandma.
Yeah, she thought it would be safer at her grandmother's house than in
Yeah.
that thick ass safe.
She took the recipe book, correct? Going to see her
Yes.
grandmother. Okay.
Yes.
So, wow, it's very echoey in here. Red decides to take the cable car up the mountain with Boingo to reach Grandma's house. Apparently, she lives in the middle of nowhere up in the woods.
Where
In the
does Red
mountains.
live? Who knows?
Who knows? Does she have parents?
Who knows?
Who knows? She's like the ginger dead man. She was baked into existence.
Plot twist.
Plot twist.
Red is a baked good.
Boingo asks what Red is doing delivering this far, and Red tells him that she wants to protect Grandma's recipes when the door of the cable cars randomly open and she falls out. She lands in a dark part of the forest and finds a wolf watching her from a bush, and he's growling at her. The wolf questions her about what she's doing out here, and Red is cautious and runs when he yells at her. Wolf chases after her, but Red gets out, and Wolf gets out of his grasp. And Wolf promises to get her and her grandma's recipes after falling into a river. The chief then cuts in. We're back at the house now, saying that he got the story correct, but Nick says that he wants to hear the rest of her story. Red goes back to her story and says she found a trail that took her up the mountain where she meets a singing mountain goat.
The star of the show.
The star of the show with the best song in the movie.
Yes, spot number 2, Be Prepared. I think that's what it's called. Yeah.
Yes, it's called Be Prepared. She meets a mountain goat named Japheth, who was cursed by a witch to sing everything he wants to say.
Really, really?
Really, really? Red uses Japheth's phone to call Grandma and tell her she's going to see her, but Grandma says she isn't ready for her. Red then hears her grandma scream and begs to take her to her grandma. Japheth starts to say, "Be prepared," as Red begs him to take the tunnels to her grandma's house. Japheth eventually opens a door in his floor, and they land in a mining car. And they take a track around the mountain when an avalanche comes down the mountain.
Oh, an avalanche is coming and I do not feel prepared. I love that song so much.
It's so good. But eventually the track is broken and they fly off into the clouds. Red then gets a vision of Grandma telling her to use her hood. And when she pulls on, I don't know, some string on her
I
head?
guess.
There wasn't string there before, but now there is. The hood turns into a parachute, and Japheth is actually prepared with his helicopter horns.
Yeah, Red was just gonna let him die.
She really was, though. She was all like, "I got my parachute, I'm fine."
She's like, got my parachute, got my basket, we're good.
We're good. Red then gets to the part of the story we saw at the beginning of the movie. And at the end of her story, Nick decides to hear the wolf's tale next. Nick interviews the wolf and finds that he's a reporter who says has the real story of what happened. Wolf is an investigative reporter who was looking into the Goody Bandit and decided to look into Red. We see the beginning of Red's part of the story going along with his. Twitchy, Wolf's assistant,
I forgot
who is a
all
squirrel.
about Twitchy.
I love Twitchy. Shows up after watching Red and gives him a report and says he brought his camera equipment to document what's going on. Wolf and Twitchy go to visit one of his informants, who's a sheep, to get info on the Goody Bandit and Red. Woolworth tells him that Red's grandma is Grandma Puckett, the famous bakery tycoon, and that Red takes the cable car up the mountain to see her every once in a while.
How does he not know that?
I honestly don't know.
I thought I seemingly everyone knows who Red is. So how does he
Right,
not know?
right. Like, is there a city that he lives in or something? Like, I feel like everyone lives in this wooded area.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring this up again later because something else happens that I'm just like, that
Okay.
doesn't make sense. But we'll
Okay.
we'll talk about it when we get there.
Alrighty. So Wolf and Twitchy follow the cable car from below, and with the listening device, hears Red's broken confession to having an evil plan with Grandma when she falls out of the cable car.
He's a terrible reporter.
He really is, though.
Like he took jumbled up words coming out of his like ear machine
Yeah, whatever
thingy,
it was.
whatever it was, and was like, she just confessed.
Yeah. Like he can clearly tell that whatever she's saying is broken up, and he's all
Yeah.
like, "It's fine, I got it all.
He's like, I
I heard
got
what I
it.
needed to
It's
hear."
her.
So Twitchy documents her fall and ends up swallowing his camera when Red falls into him and he falls with her. Wolf watches from a bush, and the growling that we heard earlier from Red's story is actually his stomach just growling because he's hungry. Wolf talks with Red while Twitchy fixes his camera and accidentally gets Wolf's tail stuck in the camera, causing him to scream at Red. Red runs away, and Wolf and Twitchy follow. Wolf somehow finds a taxi
Yeah. He's like, taxi.
and takes it, which catches him up to Red. He takes a note that he's about to nab her. That's,
Weird. Yes.
yeah. I don't think I wrote that correctly. I think I got autocorrected by something. I don't remember. Um, he is about to grab Red when he is sprayed by some kind of pepper spray and is attacked by Red.
She kicks his ass. And
He really does.
honestly, he deserved it. He was
Yeah,
being
he did.
creepy. She's like
Yeah.
a little girl and he's like trying to like grab her and chasing her.
Right.
So yeah, so every child should be put in self-defense classes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
let's do that.
Let's do that. Wolf's story then stops, and Nick confirms that he was attacked by a little girl. And we see a picture of Red in a Taekwondo class.
Yeah.
Wolf chases after Red, and Twitchy races after him. When Wolf lands in the river after being tricked by Red and some birds, and promises to get Red and her grandma. Wolf gets out of the river, and Twitchy catches up. Wolf says that they have to go directly to Grandma's house when Boingo shows up asking why they're going to her house and
How did
gives
he
them
get down there?
directions. No idea.
How? He was literally just in a cable car. How the
Right.
fuck did he get down there?
Maybe he jumped out too? I don't know. um, After following Boingo's instructions, Wolf and Twitchy are in a cave with water, and they both decide to never trust a rabbit with directions. When they go up a ladder and end up on the mining track, they get into one of the carts and ride around, and we hear Red scream from her story, and the avalanche starts. Twitchy lights a stack of dynamite, thinking it's a candle.
Dinamite.
Dinamite sounds
Dinamite.
Italian. And accidentally lights more that Wolf throws out of the cart, destroying the track that Red and Japheth fly off of. They make it to Grandma's first, and when she isn't there, they go in and pretend to be Grandma when Red shows up. Wolf throws Twitchy into the closet where Grandma is, but he doesn't see, and everything is the same from there. The chief is still adamant that the wolf did it, but Twitchy's pictures back up his story. Nick then decides to talk with the woodsman. The woodsman starts to immediately say that he's innocent, and Nick asks for his story. The woodsman tells him about his callback because he's an actor.
He's an actor.
And looking for his inner woodsman, and that's why he was in the woods with an axe. The woodsman, whose name is Kirk, starts a story with an audition for a commercial that isn't going so well. He
Coarse
leaves.
bunion cream is the soothing formula.
He leaves the audition sad, and we see Red behind him as she goes on her deliveries, as he goes to his day job as a schnitzel man.
Yes.
I still don't know what schnitzel is, by the way. Do you know what schnitzel
I
is?
have no idea.
Okay.
But this song is bop number 3.
Bop number 3. I don't know what it's called, but it's a bop. He brings schnitzel to kids, which are very creepy looking, can I just say?
Yeah, they have, how do I put this? Like picture like the creepy children from It's a Small World, like walking around with smiles painted on their face. It's kind of what they
Yeah.
look like.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, but like wider, like
Yeah.
faces wider, and they're like stockier,
Hmm.
and generally just a little bit more creepy.
Just creepy.
So things look to be going well until he goes back to his truck after being with the kids, and it's ransacked.
Okay, I laughed way too hard because how had I never realized before that they stole the wheels?
Yeah.
They not only stole the recipes and like everything inside, they stole the wheels of this truck. I screamed.
Yeah. It's on blocks.
Yes. Every other place just got their recipes stolen.
Right.
The goodie band, the like bandit stole the wheels off of this thing.
Like, man, you didn't have to do that to him.
You did not need to do that to him.
That's personal. So the kids leave, and all that's left is Boingo, giving him encouragement. When Kirk gets a call from the commercial director, they tell him that he's got a call back, his first ever, by the way.
Yeah,
That says a lot.
probably because he's the only human in this town.
No, there's another human.
Granny and Red?
No,
Like,
well, other than them, there's that one human guy that's in like an
oh,
animal costume.
in the like panda suit or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah. That's weird. Also, the human children, if they're human.
they're not human.
Yeah, I don't think so.
They're not
There's some
human.
type of troll or whatever.
Yeah, they're trolls.
um, and that he has to show up tomorrow with a woodsman spirit for the commercial. Kirk then leaves Boingo to find this inner woodsman, and after some trial and error, becomes a terror with his axe,
Yeah,
cutting basically everything down.
he just starts cutting shit down like nothing. Like he's just swinging his arms, just cutting down trees. And I'm like, sir, these people live here. Like, can you like not?
Right. Like he apologizes to some birds in the tree at just once, but everybody else, no apologies.
Like he destroys people's cars.
Mm-hmm.
He scares children. He just, with a smile on his face, going around just cutting down every single tree he sees.
He found his inner woodsman.
Yeah.
So Kirk gets to a huge tree and makes it his mission to cut it down. And it takes him all day, and it's almost cut down when he hears a scream. He takes a couple steps away from the tree, and it breaks off, and he runs away from it, but ends up on top of the log and eventually into Grandma's house because he gets thrown off of it. Nick confirms the story and finds that he knows Kirk knows the least about what happened and goes to interview Grandma. Nick starts the interview with asking if she's been stealing recipes to protect her goodie empire, but she denies it. Red steps in and says that they don't have any secrets, but Grandma says that she has a few still. Grandma says her family worries about her too much when one of the officers finds a closet filled with trophies for a lot of extreme sports.
How long have they been in this fucking house and they just now found this closet?
Right.
I have no trust in the police. If it takes them this long to like thoroughly check that house, they've interviewed 3 people.
Right. And they've been there for how long before Nick even showed up?
Yeah, nah.
Mm-mm.
Useless.
Yeah, we can't trust any form of
No.
That's hilarious. Nick sees the tattoo on the back of Grandma's neck of 3 G's and says she has 3 strikes against her. And Grandma confirms that she never liked the other quote unquote older people activities that others do.
Did a bomb just blow up in your house? What the fuck was that?
Can you still hear me? Is that really loud?
Yes. Oh my god.
Oh god. Don't tell me I have to move again.
That scared me. Oh my gosh.
That's the shower.
You're lying.
No, there's a wall. I'm right by the wall that's shares that connects with the bathroom.
Oh
Is it
my,
better now?
it's better now, but
Okay.
gosh, that scared me.
Yeah,
I heard that and I was like, her power is about to go off.
there's yeah, my house is about to be exploded.
Like she's dead. Like,
I'm
oh
dead.
my
I'm
gosh,
gone.
I just watched her die.
No, we're perfectly fine. Um, we then see a montage of grandma jumping from a helicopter and snowboarding down a mountain.
Bop number 4, Triple G.
Triple G.
Love that song.
Um, rock climbing, but I don't remember what it's called where you rock climb but
Free
without
climbing?
free climbing.
Yeah.
Yes, she's free climbing and skateboarding. And Grandma starts her story with the phone call she got from Red and saying she begged off Red coming to see her so that she can go to an extreme skiing competition that she had trained for.
Yes, where we get bop number 5, Tree Critter.
Oh, bruh, Tree Critter.
Truly the best song in the movie.
Honestly, they really went off on that one.
You can take the critter out of the tree, but you can't take the tree out of the tree critter's needs. Yes.
Please tell me this is on Spotify.
Yes. That song is lit. I love it.
So good. At the event, Grandma catches up with her friends and they tell her of the European group that put one of their friends, I think, in the hospital and how sick the ride is going to be with them. Grandma goes to talk with the Europeans when she runs into Boingo and he gets her autograph.
It was at this point I was like, how is he at multiple places at the same time?
Right.
Like, does that cable car double as like a transporter or something?
Right.
Because
right.
how was he in the cable car on the floor talking to Wolfie, talking to
the
woodsman, and up in the mountains at the same time?
Bro, there's multiple Boingos.
There's multiple Boingos. He has a twin and just does not tell anybody.
Right. He has a twin that stays like on the forest floor.
Yeah.
And then he like the other Boingo stays in the mountains.
Yeah.
So the competition starts, and from the get-go, one of the Europeans takes out one of Grandma's skis, and the others take out the other skiers. She gets a phone call from Red, but has to hang up when they take out her polar bear friend. Grandma starts to fight back with snowballs and rides her remaining ski like a snowboard.
Yeah. And y'all know how skinny skis are.
Mm-hmm.
And she's literally riding it like a snowboard with only one leg attached to it.
Yeah. And your feet aren't secured the same as they are in a snowboard. So how did she turn?
No, like the foot positioning is different.
Yeah, it's different.
So I don't know how she was doing it, but she killed it.
She really did though. Grandma almost falls off a cliff with one of the goons, but they hold on to her. Grandma asks who they're working for and finds out that they are working for the bandit, but they won't tell her who it is, and he pushes her off the ledge. Grandma saves herself and overhears the goon saying that they're going after Red, and she uses a bungee cord that she somehow has on her to spring herself back up the mountain. When she's up there, she throws 2 grenades.
Yeah, she had grenades. I was like, man.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of extreme sport requires grenades.
And they weren't even regular grenades. Like they were like radio operated grenades with like a timer, and she just threw them back like it was nothing and went down the hill.
She literally was just like reached in her fanny pack, like, oh, here's the 2 grenades I just had lying in there.
She's Might like, as well use them. Here's those extra sugar cookies I brought, my wallet, and my grenades.
You can never leave the house without your grenades.
She is best friends with that goat. He said, "Be prepared," and like she took it.
She really took it to heart.
She was like, "You right. I got my bungee cord in here.
I got a parachute." She then uses the avalanche that the 2 grenades cause to propel herself down the mountain. It covers the goons, and she wins the competition.
Yes. Here's where I'm even more confused about this town. So it seems like it's common knowledge that Granny is into extreme sports. Like she gets
Right.
on the front page of the
Page of the
paper.
news. Yeah.
How does and like seemingly everyone in the town except for the people in the room during the interrogation seem to know
Yeah.
that she is into extreme sports. How?
Right. Like, did everyone collectively agree to not tell Red or
Yeah, they were
what?
just like, let's just not tell Red.
Right. They're like, don't deliver the newspaper to her house
Yeah.
or deliver her an altered one.
No. Yeah, let's do that instead. Every
Right. And then no one tell her. That's so strange. Um, we then see the avalanche going down the mountain, which corresponds with Red and Wolf's story. And she uses a parachute to save. Sorry, I think my dog is going crazy. And she uses a parachute to save herself from it. She then somehow ends up in the clouds when she sees Red and Japheth in their cart and tells her to use her hood as a parachute. Once Red is safe, Grandma sees her house and Wolf and Twitchy approaching it and uses her chimney to enter her house
yeah,
somehow.
weird.
But once inside, her parachute catches on her fan and entangles her in it, and she ends up in the closet and has to listen to Red and Wolf's conversation and uses Twitchy to get out, and the stories align from there. Red looks at her grandma's trophies and she's conflicted about who her grandma is and the hypocrisy of her grandma doing extreme sports while Red has to be protected and stay in the forest. Grandma can see that she's meant to do more, but Red takes off her hood, saying that she doesn't want to do this anymore and walks out feeling lost. And then we
Bob
get
number
Red is blue.
6. Bob number 6, red is blue.
Red is blue. I love that there's a line in there that's like, it doesn't make sense, but red is blue. Red then thinks back to her and Grandma going over the Puckett women baking history and how Red was told that she carries a great history when she finds a medal for cage wrestling in Grandma's silverware drawer.
Yeah, sure.
Grandma totally ignores it.
Yeah. She's
And
like,
tells Red,
it says world's best
world's greatest
grandma.
grandma.
And she's like, Grandma, I can read. Like, I.
Like she could have just said, like, I bought it because I thought it was funny to own something like that. But
Yeah.
no. Grandma does ignore it and tells Fred that she doesn't, the two things that she doesn't do is she doesn't lie or play extreme sports. Back at Grandma's house, the chief is getting antsy when Nick says that they need more information. We then see someone enter the house and see that someone in a red hood steal Red's basket with the recipe book in it. Nick goes to Grandma, Kirk, and Wolf and goes through the story with all of them until he notices that Red and the recipes are gone. We see Red and watch as the person with the red cloak goes to the cable car with one of the goons from earlier. At the house, they suspect Red, but Nick says that there's another player in the story, and at the same time, Red sees the Red Hood go down to reveal bunny ears. Nick says that Boingo was the one behind everything, and one of the officers says that Red and the bunny are missing and send everyone out to find them to stop the cable car. Everyone leaves, and Wolf and Twitchy start to leave to get the story, but Grandma says that something doesn't feel right about what's going on when Kirk hears the music from his schnitzel truck. The goons are in it and they've converted his truck into some like snowmobile, tactical snowmobile.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure. And they are going up the mountain instead of down like the police went. Grandma confirms that there's a cable station up the mountain and Wolf tells Twitchy to stop the cops, but Grandma doesn't think he'll make it in time. So Wolfie gives Twitchy coffee.
Yeah.
And he goes crazy and races off to the cops.
Just straight down.
Too bad I don't get that much energy by drinking coffee anymore.
I'm telling you, I've never gotten energy from drinking coffee. I think it's a placebo.
I think it might be as well, but I feel like I get maybe 2 to 5 minutes of energy, and then after that I'm just like,
It's a placebo. You're being tricked. It's good marketing. You're being tricked. What you
but either
really
way,
are,
it do taste good.
what you really are is just addicted. Like that's it.
I mean, yes, I am. The cable car with Boingo and the goon reaches the top, and we see the other goons constructing something. The goon is unsure of the plan and how the cops are everywhere, but Boingo says he isn't going to take anyone's crap anymore, and we see Red clinging onto the cable car.
Yeah, can we talk about that for 1 second?
Yeah.
Boingo is just like, yeah, I don't care about the cops, but like they know it's you. Like, come on,
Yeah.
why do you not care?
Yeah, you have to care. They're literally on to you,
They're
bro.
on to, they know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. And he only has what, like 4 people that could like protect him?
Yeah, he didn't think this through.
He really
He
didn't.
didn't think it through enough. Not for me.
Red then shows up saying that she's going to stop him and they start to fight. Boingo knows some karate too. I don't know.
Yeah, he knows like
Um,
ear foo. Like he can
ear,
like fight
ear
with his
foo.
ears.
And eventually Boingo subdues her and has her tied up.
And then, can you
As
believe this little girl starts crying? Like, has
right,
she never lost a fight before? Like, why is she
right,
crying?
right. Like I get getting the wind knocked out of you is a lot,
Yeah,
but like I don't think you should start crying, my
you can't
friend.
be starting fights with people and then cry when you lose.
Right, right. You started
You
it.
started this fight.
He then gives the other goons instructions, and when Red calls him crazy, he goes into singing Top of the World, where he
Bop
explains his evil plan to her.
number 7. Ooh.
It's a really good song. It's such a good song. Boingo tells Red that they're constructing a factory to produce his snacks with his special ingredient, bongonium, that elevates
Mm.
addiction for his snacks, which in return will expand his business and he is also planning on getting rid of any other competition by blowing up the woods.
Okay, another thing where there's several different things that aren't making sense.
Yes.
So he tells us that the steps to his like plan,
Mm-hmm.
quote unquote plan.
Quote unquote.
First he was going to like steal all the recipes so that he's the only person in town.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay, I get that.
Okay.
He's gonna make his factory or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but like he said like construction didn't start until like next year, and I'm like, so why did you steal all these recipes so early?
Right.
What I was like, whatever, like maybe you're
Like, bro,
gonna,
you should have switched those two.
yeah, I was like, oh, whatever. And so he does that, and then he was like, and then I'm gonna like blow up the woods so that I can expand my empire. Why was he about to blow up the woods right now? I was
Right.
I was like, wait, you're
Right.
skipping some steps here. I
Right.
was like, don't you need to make your like factory first?
Right. And then why would you blow up your potential market?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm like, people
bro.
live down there. Like, you're just gonna kill
Right.
people.
Right.
The plan was not thought out.
It was not.
But like he was insane. So obviously, like it,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I mean,
don't even get me started with the whole fact that the police knew what he did. Like I so like
mm-hmm.
and he was just okay with that, as if that was gonna like just be glossed over. Like the
Right.
police would eventually just get over it.
Right. He's like, I'm just gonna blow up the woods anyway. They'll be dead in a couple days.
Yeah.
Anyway. So Boingo then has the cable car filled with dynamite and Red put on it. And as he finishes his song, Grandma Wolf and Kirk show up. Wolf goes to come up with a plan when Grandma points out their strongest goon has to be taken out first. And he has been behind her the whole time.
How?
And a fight breaks out.
How? He was literally just tap dancing in
Right.
the cave. Don't know
Right.
how he found them. But
Maybe
yeah.
there's twins of like every goon too.
Every bad guy has a twin.
Yes. Yes. That's how everything gets done.
That's how I mean, otherwise, how do you work with only 4 people? Like
Right.
you need more.
Twitchy then catches up with the police and gets them to stop by causing an accident. And when the chief starts to question him, Twitchy starts talking a mile a minute and they are confused. Red struggles against her bonds as Boingo locks her in the cable car. Wolf then preps Kirk to pretend to be one of the goons and sends him out to Boingo. When it starts to go wrong, Wolf shows up acting like a building inspector and walks with Boingo as Grandma scales the beams and lights above them
Yeah,
as Kirk tries to free Red. Sweat from Grandma? I
yeah,
assume it's sweat.
it's
Okay.
sweat.
Uh, from Grandma drops off of her face and lands near Boingo, who knows she's there because he smells hairspray.
Yeah, he's like, I smell hairspray. I'm like, what?
Yeah, like so. Maybe one of your goons for his hairspray.
Right?
Um, and then eventually a fight breaks out. Grandma handles um, the goons as Boingo lights the dynamite and sends Red off without brakes. Grandma goes after the car, riding a muffin tin
Yeah. And then she
on
just
the cable line.
yeah, and then she smacks the shit out of Boingo before. Like,
Yes, yes.
like she like runs up the stairs, smacks the shit out of him, and then jumps onto the line.
I feel like they should have knocked him out.
It should have.
Yeah, because she swung that muffin tin. And she rides it on the cable line as Boingo and his other goons go after her, while Wolf and Kirk take the truck. Red escapes her bonds and gets out of the car when Grandma shows up and helps her up to ride the muffin tin with her. That's a huge muffin tin.
A huge muffin. It can hold 2 people.
Yes. Grandma then releases the car into the river and explodes in the river. With all the dynamite that was in there, I feel like it should have dried up the river.
I feel like the water should have stopped it from exploding.
Oh, you're right.
That's how I felt. And
Yeah.
then and then when it did explode, I was like, that wasn't big enough to destroy the forest.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like there should have been at least like a crater or something
Yeah.
if it was supposed to go off. Boingo and the goons catch up and believe that they have them caught, but Red and Grandma activate their parachute cloaks and
I
get
love how
into
you
the
said
air.
activate.
I did
like
that on purpose.
like they're Power Rangers or something.
Well, at this point, dude, they're riding a cable car wire with a muffin tin. uh, while Boingo and the others ride in the cable into a police van that takes them to jail. Grandma and Red land, and Grandma admits that she never realized how grown Red has gotten. And Red says that she got her adventure aside from her. Wolf and Kirk then show up with the recipe book. The press arrive and interview everyone about what happened, and Nick says that now that the bunny is behind bars, snacks and pastries will return to the forest.
Will they? They never show us like them finding like all the recipes.
Recipes, right?
They just find Granny Puckett's recipe and then.
Right.
But
Also,
okay.
if you did work at a bakery for all your life, why wouldn't you know your recipes by heart? I guess.
I mean, yeah.
Just
At least know
saying.
some of them.
Right. You
Like
don't need to know all of them.
like I could make chocolate chip cookies from scratch right now without opening a recipe book.
Right. Right.
So
I have at least two recipes in my mind that I could do without checking anything.
like I could do that and I can make like a pumpkin pie right now without looking at a
Right.
recipe.
Right.
So and I don't do it every day.
Right. It's a yearly thing.
Yeah.
But you do it enough that it's in your head.
Speaking
So
of which,
these creatures ain't got no excuse.
no. Speaking of which, I think this year I'm gonna make banana pudding. Can't wait to try that.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Never done it before, so like pray for me.
Ooh.
But we'll see.
It doesn't seem too hard.
I don't know. I'll have to
Anyway,
see.
a couple days later, question mark. Grandma, Red, Wolf, and Twitchy are together having like coffee and pastries. And Wolf asks Red about the new delivery system she's got going with Japheth, using the mines to deliver goodies. Who he now has antlers to hold pies and cupcakes, which I think is great.
Great for him. Love that
Good
for
for
him.
him.
I hope he's
Right.
living his best life.
Right. Good for him. Kirk followed his dream of being a part of a yodeling group, which Grandma and Red are going to see, while Wolf and Twitchy say they have a story to follow. They have gathered together to see Nick, who, when he arrives, wants to hire them as his new crew to join his secret agency, the Happily Ever After Agency,
It was
to
at this
solve
point
crime.
I was like, where are Red's parents? She is a child.
Right.
And they want her to be a secret agent?
Right. Like, how old is this girl?
I have no idea. But not
I
old
want to
enough.
say, I want to say like 12 at the most.
Probably. Not old enough to be a secret agent.
No, absolutely
This is not Spy Kids. This
It's not.
not happening. Like, she was almost murdered. Like, this is not
by a
games.
rabbit.
Yeah.
Like, Grandma should have been like, you're locked up forever.
And he wasn't even a smart criminal. So just imagine if they were.
He was just crazy.
Yeah, imagine if they were going against someone with an actual plan.
Bro. Someone's going to die out there.
Someone's going to die. Probably Red.
Probably. Or Grandma. Everybody agrees to the arrangement, and that's where the movie ends.
Yay.
So I'm gonna hit you with some movie facts.
Okay.
There weren't that many.
I wouldn't think there would be. It's animated.
Well, my first movie fact is that this was animated independently, entirely in the Philippines.
I'm not shocked. The animation is not good, but I look past it. I look past
Shout out to the Philippines. I love you, motherland. And I mean, this was an independent film too.
Yeah.
According to Todd Edwards at Anderson University Chapel, I don't know what that is. This is the first fully independent funded computer animated feature film.
Oh. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This went into production in the summer of 2002. And it was released in LA on December 16th, 2005 for a 1-week engagement before expanding nationwide on January 13, 2006. Some of the like Hoodwinked stuff, like, you know how they put the data when it come out?
Yeah.
Some people say 05, some people say 06.
Okay.
So that's why some say 05 and 06. This is the 9th computer animated film to be rated PG by the MPAA after Ants, Dinosaur, Shrek, Ice Age, Shark Tale, The Incredibles, Robots, and Madagascar. And it's the first one not to be released on VHS.
I have not seen Ants in a very long time.
Me neither. Or
Dinosaur. Oh!
Also, I haven't seen Ice Age or Robots in a while either.
I've seen Robots, not recently, but like semi-recently. And then
Ice Age?
The first one, I have not seen in forever.
Yeah, same. I think I remember Robots being good. If I remember correctly.
I thought it was okay.
Okay. All right. So, the important question of the episode, do you think it's iconic?
Yes, I think it's iconic.
Heck yeah.
I think it's funny.
It's hilarious.
The songs slap.
Yes, they do.
And the cast is like insane. Like, how is Anne Hathaway
right.
starring in this movie?
Right. And you've got other great people in this movie too.
Yes. Like
the guy who
Burton? Is that how
I don't know how to say
his last name. Pronounce his last name.
But dude, you've got great people on here.
Exhibit plays like the grizzly bear.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Anderson plays like a goose. Like, what is going on?
Like, this is an actually stacked cast, but like nobody knows. Also, I remember like seeing, I think my grandma gave me this movie. And I remember like my brother and I looking at it and we're like, yeah, we'll give it a try. And then I remember we just loved it. It was so funny. Like we quote this sometimes to each other still. And it came out
Oh,
so long ago.
very, very quotable. Very quotable.
Very quotable. So
Um,
good.
yeah, like how did I find this movie? I think one day in elementary school, in like art class or something, we were like watching movies and someone brought this movie.
Oh,
I think that's how I found out about this movie.
that's interesting. Yeah, because I
Like,
feel like this wasn't like um commercialized a lot.
I don't think it was, because I don't think I saw this in theaters.
Yeah, I didn't for sure. Okay. So, any recommendations this week?
Yes, I have two.
Okay.
My first one is the video game Rise of Tomb Raider.
Ooh.
I bought this a couple of weeks ago, but I like started playing it yesterday. Love it. I love it. I love a good video game.
And we love Tomb Raider.
I love Tomb Raider. Can't wait for the new movie to come out whenever that happens.
I'm kind of excited for that one too.
Yeah. And then my second one is Ted Lasso. I
Hmm.
finally had time to finish this season.
I was about to say, you brought this up like weeks ago.
Yeah, finally had time to finish. Great show. Makes me want to cry. Every time anything happens to Ted, I'm ready to fight. Like I'm like brass
Brass
knuckles
Knuckles.
ready to like fight a bitch. Like I love Ted. Like don't touch Ted.
It's on site.
Ted is my baby. Like I'm
It's
protecting him
yes.
at all costs. Like
That's
uh
fair.
uh it's been a while since I've like had a male character I felt like this for. So like I'm
Oh.
gonna protect Ted till the day I die. Like a zombie apocalypse happens, I'm protecting Ted. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm getting a
Ted is
bat.
gonna outlive you.
He's gonna outlive me. I'll sacrifice myself for
Yes.
Ted.
Yes. Anything for Ted.
Yeah, great show. Please watch it. It's on Apple TV Plus. While you're there, also watch the morning show. I'm also trying to
Mm-hmm.
catch up on that, but those episodes are an hour long, so it's gonna take me a minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, watch Ted Lasso.
You only have one this week?
At two.
Oh no, you had two. Sorry. Sorry, my mind. Okay. So for me, my first one is An Evening with Silk Sonic
Mm,
by Silk Sonic.
yes,
So good.
great music.
Bruno Mars was not playing around with this album.
No,
And I'm okay with the time I had to wait for it.
I'm not, but I got over it.
You got over it. Okay. And then my second recommendation is Happier Than Ever, but not the Billie Eilish version, the original version. It's
Oh,
an
that like
R
R&B version,
the
much better.
R&B the R&B
much
cover by
much better.
Austin.
Much
It's so
better.
good. He just released it on Spotify.
I know. I
So
I have it on a
I
playlist.
immediately saved it. It's so good. Please listen to it. I think it's better than the original too. Like
It is.
no flack to Billie Eilish. It's a great song. But like R&B though, I'm a sucker for R&B.
I love some R&B.
I love me some
If you
R&B.
ever need some R&B recommendations, like hit me up. Like I got
Mhm.
you.
Mhm. We have playlists dedicated
Yes.
to R&B.
Love R&B.
But yes, please check this song out. And his other stuff is really good too. So just like after you listen to that, close to Austin. Yeah, and that's it for me.
Well, thank you for listening, then. Great movie. Great
Mm-hmm.
week. I have
Mm-hmm.
Starbucks coming to me. I can't wait. Uh
Ooh.
yeah, don't forget to follow us on our social media. We have a Twitter and Instagram. They're both at
Mm-hmm.
SYTYI Podcasts. We also have a YouTube. I'm all caught up on YouTube as of today, but like who knows?
Wow.
There When this comes out, there will be one episode that needs to come out. on YouTube. Let's see if that happens.
Mm.
Also, you can send us some movie stories, some movie requests at our
Mhm.
email, SYI. Whoa.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Whoa,
I'm
man.
tired and might be a little hungover. SYTYI podcast at gmail.com. Have do you love this movie? Like, let us know. Have you seen the
Yes.
second one? How is it?
Yeah, because we've never seen it.
Just looked it up. Anne Hathaway is not even
Oh,
voicing
then
Red in
okay,
the
we're not
second
watching
one.
it then.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm not watching it.
Hayden Panettiere is though. Amy Poehler
Oh,
is in this. Oh, I might have to. I might have to watch.
oh, okay. You kind of changed my mind there.
My like literally everyone came back except for Anne Hathaway, and then they added Amy Poehler and Hayden Panettiere.
Okay.
Might have to.
Oh, Hayden Panettiere played Red.
Okay, I'm fine
I
with
could,
that.
yeah.
I guess
John Cusack is in it. Yo.
we might watch this. We'll see. We'll see. We'll
Yeah, we
see.
might actually. Bro, they put Martin Short in here.
It says there's bad reviews, so like let me just see. But like yeah, so don't forget to share us with your friends and your family.
Yes.
Subscribe to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. Rate and
Mhm.
review us on Apple Podcasts. It'll be like an early Christmas gift. Like give us
Yes,
5 stars.
please.
Please and thank you.
Thank
Also, don't
you.
forget to wear your mask.
Mm-hmm.
Wash your hands. And stay iconic.
Stay iconic, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.